Hey everyone, it's Chris Shelley back with more iRacing. Still in week one of season 2, 2023, and we're doing the Gen 4 Cup cars. Now these are fun. I found out that they were adding these after the whole accidental release of the patch where these cars had 150 something horsepower. So these are really a blast to drive. I mean, you can spin them out just jamming the throttle on the straightaway. It's ridiculous, ridiculously fun. So here we go, 80 laps. I'm gonna show you through the highlights that I had of the race. Um, very, very fun race. Homestead is a great track to open the series up on a high note, and well, had a good time. You know me, Chris Shelley tried to qualify well challenge is actually impossible. So I qualified fourth, and I mean or third rather. Not terrible, but not. I knew there was more speed in my lap, but I just didn't unleash. I should have gotten like second or first on qualifying. It's fine though. Had a little twitch there. I hadn't gotten that much practice in this car. Only did about maybe 50 laps total practice. First 20 laps probably just me like spinning out, drifting, trying to handle this car. You have to be super gentle on the throttle. It's nothing like the Arca car. I honestly don't think I can mentally drive the Arca car after this. One, because this is much more difficult, but it's also much more fun too. Just having this horsepower, having the ability to just really um, have that extra skill expression as far as throttle control. And I'm really looking forward to driving all these other tracks. This throttle control is going to be huge at every other track. You can't really just mash it down coming off the corner. And even if you're being careful, like you'll still spin out if you're not careful enough. Anyway, to the race. We're starting off the run, just trying to take it easy. It's tire wear is still a pretty big deal here, so don't want to go too aggressive. We do have 3 sets of tires total. We have the one we started with and 2 sets of tires in the pits. It means we're going to try to pit around lap 25 and 55-ish. I mean, you want to divide it into thirds. So that's our main strategy here. So now there was an incident early on, so I'm just going to skip on ahead to the middle of the race. All right, so here we are, middle of the race after a restart. Still in 5th spot. Now we got to battle this 6 car to try to hold on to it. So Dylan was really fast, and I'm still not very many laps in this car, and now I'm forced off the bottom. So to be honest, I didn't practice the top side enough. So very interesting time trying to get used to this top side at first. Really trying to find where the speed is. You know, you also have to consider track is starting up with really high track temperatures. So like qualifying was 117 degrees, and it's kind of actually cooling down a little bit as we drive. So just because of the sun, that is helping me out a ton. So I'm just trying to hold on to this spot. We go 3 wide, lap 11. Okay, 7 cars going down the bottom. I'm trying to rip the top. I don't think really the top has come in. It is Homestead. For some reason I can't figure out the top lane in Homestead. 6 car kind of cuts me off there. I mean, he would probably got the all clear from the spotter, so that's just how it is. I have to give up that spot and move on. So you can see even the leader right there, he is struggling. I mean, this car is not easy. So here are the 2 car diving down the bottom. I'm just like, bro, I want the bottom lane, man. But I just can't really get this exit down. I wasn't able to really get the exit down early on. Took me a while to really figure out, okay, how can I really power off the throttle? And that's why it's important to, you know, if you want to improve at a car track combo, you got to race to see what other people are doing better than you. Even if you do, like my practice method is just driving, doing telemetry and tracking the average lap, but you don't really see what other people are doing better until you race. So, down to 8th spot, that's fine. I just need to get into rhythm. I didn't really like the very bottom. I sort of tried to use the middle. I figured, okay, a lot of people are running the bottom anyway, so it's gonna get a little too hot, perhaps. If I run like a lane up, that might help me. So I sort of dabbled with running the middle, running the top, running the very bottom, trying to figure out just what was faster. To be honest, it was kind of, you know, whatever I could get the car to do was what I did. As far as whether I was running the very middle or at the very bottom or that one lane up. Let's move on ahead to the next battle. So here 6 car hits the wall, I get a free spot. I mean, it's 6 car started struggling. So he opened up the run really strong, but I think he just started losing it. I mean, these tires, all I will say is this extra power gives you an extra ability to really wear out your stuff and really wear out your tires. Especially that right rear. And I mean, your right rear, you wear it out, you're not going to have any corner exit. And you have no corner exit, you're just going to be hitting the wall. And I mean, it's just one thing leads to another. I think what I had noticed throughout the run is I opened up a run pretty slowly, but if I could stay in a rhythm, at least for the first few laps, not have to rip the top, because the ripping the top does wear your tires out even more. But if I can open up a run decently without too much battling, which is very hard because Homestead's a very racy track where you do get a lot of battles, but if I can open up smoothly, I run on the run. So you can see me challenging this 4 car, trying to get up to the top side. And 4 car is like, he knows like I'm probably gonna be able to get around him, so he actually backs off, lets me go. I learned that he didn't tell me that until kind of late, so it was a very awkward positioning. I didn't really know what he was gonna do. I was gonna try to rip up to the top and try to get around him. So here comes the 6 car. 6 car is like, okay, I mean, if you're gonna lose 3/10 a lap, I'm gonna challenge you. 6 car gets the 4 as well. This is so fun. I cannot understate. Like, I cannot overstate how fun this is. Like, this is not exaggeration. This is really peak. This is honestly, when you get a good green flag run, this is peak iRacing, man. This is peak stock car racing. I think part of that is also just the track itself. Like, we didn't need these cars to show you how good this track is. Like, this track is good with the trucks, Xfinity cars, the Cup cars that we have today. Like, it's great, but you can really appreciate it with this fairly like low downforce cars with so much power. It just really shows. Struggling with the steering here. So lap 22, let's move on. 6 car, next lap, starts looking at me again. Let me hold off on the outside. So now this is where I started to try to really learn how to run the outside. I think I wasn't the best on it to start off with. I think really struggling, sort of getting used to it, how to enter it and how to exit. I sort of try to do a diamond. See, I mean, I'm turning right coming off the corner. So just trying to hold on to it, and really, as long as he can't clear me, I mean, I'm good. Alright, and also I'm not losing too much time off of what I normally would have done anyway when you're on this line, right? Like, running the outside means that, you know, if you're going to run the outside anyway, you're not going to lose any time. So I'm fine with this if I can figure out and learn how to drive it. And what I've noticed is like running that middle, like no man's land, does not seem to work. If you're gonna run the middle, if you're gonna run that middle lane, you just gotta be right against that seam, because that's where that banking has ticked up, right? So like, down here, I'm trying to run that. I kind of missed the line, but I sort of hit a clipping point, apex late, coming off the corner. And oh, look at that, 6-car wrecked, and that's a yellow. But we did manage to hang on, and this is kind of perfect in our tire window to make our first stop. So we do that, and we'll move on to the restart. All right, here we are with the restart. It came out 8th. I mean, not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. With that, we've used our second set of tires. Well, we put the second set of tires on, rather. It does put us just out of the fuel window, actually. A little bit out. So if it were to go green now, most people would not be able to make it. I don't think anyone would be able to make it, actually. It just goes green, so... I mean, everyone's just going to race all out and just anticipate green flag stops. If it goes green, that's going to be interesting. It's also interesting to see, like, those green flag stops if we did see them. So yeah, this is a smooth start for me, just get to run the middle. And sort of just feel it out. So here, looking down the 17 car. Alright, let me make this move. I want the spot. See if I can make the bottom work. I drove down to the very bottom. Can't quite clear him, but I knew that since I was able to gain enough ground on him to sort of threaten a move, I can just keep eating away on this bottom line. I think I just will eventually get him. And there's nothing, and because there's enough space in front, there's nothing stopping me from making that move if I'm smart about it. But here the 17 car makes a really strong run, but 18 makes a mistake. Okay, that's fine. I dive up to the high side and let's rip the top. But it's so racy too. Like you just can go anywhere. Really top, middle, bottom. Really make it work. So here, try the middle. He takes the middle away. I'm like, okay, let me pivot to the top a little bit. And there's yellow. So there's a yellow actually, so never mind. But this is when, okay, all right, there's a yellow. About less than 50 laps to go. Let's top off on fuel. So I didn't even take tires here. I make a stop. I'm just gonna put in fuel, so I don't have to pick turn on, so you can't see it. But I'm just putting on fuel, and there are a few other guys that topped off with me. And we're just thinking, okay, let's go. Let's hope this thing goes green. And see what we can do. And this restart was really interesting. So you see we're deeper back in the pack. There are probably about 15 cars at this point that didn't really have any significant damage. So we're a bit deeper in the pack. And now I'm only racing those 17, the 7, and yeah, the 17 and the 7 are the only guys I'm racing. I guess the 6 as well. He also looks like he stopped on the same lap we did. We're on the same fuel strategy, so it's okay. I don't really need to worry about everyone else. If it goes green, no one else should be able to make it on fuel but us, because like the people that topped off, like we only had about 0.5 to 0.8 of a lap to the good as far as making it on fuel. Now that does get a little bit safer as we go throughout the run, and as your speed just slows down, your RPMs will eventually go down a little bit. But I mean that means that no one else is making it, because we topped off to grab about 3 gallons of fuel. So you're not going to be able to get that 3 gallons back, I think. It was like 2 or 3 gallons, maybe 2. But I'm thinking, okay, I just need to get in front of 7 car. And I think this was sort of my run around, like, okay, let's buckle in, get those first laps, get the tires up to temperature, and then really I'm going to need to run these guys down while also trying to run the bottom, because I don't want to extend my distance too much. If I run the top too much, I'm like, okay, I'm using too much RPMs to get to make the speed. Am I gonna run out of fuel if I keep using it? And I know a lot of times, I mean, like you use the bottom, you top enough, it wears your tire enough, or like ruins your balance enough that you can't get off the top, right? Um, that you sort of need your car gets into that rhythm, and you get into that rhythm of doing it where you can't figure it out. But 16 car had other plans. 16 car is like, I don't care about your fuel strategy. I'm gonna get mine. So now I got to battle the 16, try to get around the 13, so I can pass the 7 and the 17. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to go. 16's on me. So I'm ripping up to the top. I go to the top. Of course, my luck. As soon as I go to the top, there's lap traffic. So now we gotta, navigate lap traffic. Means I have to go in the middle of this corner. I drive it, send it through the middle. They're almost 3 wide. 13 thinks better of it. I try the middle. Like I could not make the middle. Go up to the top. That kind of cost me. I could have gotten a run on the 17 here. Now I don't know where to go. 17's gonna probably. I thought the 17 was gonna go high. He doesn't. That gives me in the middle. I try to pinch the 13 a little bit. He still has plenty of room. But now I have nowhere to go for my run on the outside. Because the 17 was running like at the bottom. Now the 17 goes to the top. Okay, I'm like, okay, you go to the top. I'll go to the middle. I try to late apex in the middle. It's just nuts. This is nuts the way this race played out. He gets 13 gets the win on the top. It's just nuts. It's madness, really. 23 car is slow. Slowing up 13. I'm trying to run the middle. 17's on the top. 23's in the bottom. 23 makes a mistake. 16 car is blinking out. Like, he's blinking. Like, he's lagging. There were people complaining about him lagging. I mean, just wild race all around. Now 7-17 are battling. That's as far as we're concerned, that's for the win. Based on our strategies, like that battle right there was for the win. 17 just took the effective lead, really. I'm still fighting the 13 on the top. This like looking back on it, this race was just absolutely brilliant. Like, just great racing. I do think that we also have to consider track temperatures are coming down as well. So the track is getting more grip. It makes it, and it was making it easier. And so if you are racing at like one of the track like this with these cars or just any car, just keep in mind like if a race starts around if the in-track time is about noon, then it's gonna be really hot. But as you get to the later afternoon, the sun isn't so directly beating down on the track. Like it helps you out. Look at how close I'm to the wall right there. So I take a look at the 7 on the 1 car, on the 7 car now. I'm like, okay, you're gonna block the top and then go to the bottom. I had this huge run off from really hitting a really nice 3 and 4. Now I can't clear him. I now can't clear him. He runs the middle. But just smart. You run the middle, someone can't slide job you. Here I'm back up to the top again, barely out of the wall. There is a lot going on, guys. There is a lot. Oh my goodness. I kind of missed the apex here. So I lost the spot. I mean, I also got psyched out a little bit by the slap car on the top as well. That is another weakness of the top, is that a lot of times slap cars don't know where to go, so they just go high, and if you're running high, you're saddle up. Look who's back, that 6 car. 6 cars back. So 6 cars now looking at us. Again. You see the track temperature actually picking up a little bit again. That's just from the tires. Everyone's hot tires running all over the pavement. 18 slip. Oh my goodness. And it looks like we're about to get all sorted out. So 17 is, I mean, in really best position right now, but they're battling still. So 8, you got to see the 18 up there making some moves, making some battles. I'm like, and I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, there's still a shot for me here. And I'm pretty confident, like, based on these guys battling so hard, like, someone's gonna, like, I'm not in a bad spot here. Like, they're gonna have to wear their stuff out. They're just gonna have to, by necessity, in order to hold their track position. I don't really know what I was doing in 3 and 4 at some of these corners, though. The interesting thing about this track is, like, yes, it looks symmetrical, right? 1 and 2 looks like 3 and 4, but just the profile or the banking is so different from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 that you can drive it a lot differently. I would say like turn 2, the banking really falls off really quickly, while turn 4, coming off the corner, it really does a better job of holding you. It doesn't fall away from the track, doesn't fall away from you as much, which makes driving those really different. So I was trying to do like a very aggressive center, but it was just not working. Even though the track isn't falling away from you as much as in turn 2, like look how abrupt that is. It's not super abrupt. There are tracks that do have a more dramatic fall off. There's kind of no bank there. I try to get to this 13's right rear. So 13 gives me the space, comes back up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna try it again. So under 30 laps to go, time to rip the top. Let's get these spots. I'm thinking, let's get it, let's go. 13 cars loses it. I pressured him to make a mistake there. That's a spot. All right, now we gotta get past the 17. Because keep in mind, I don't need to get up there with the lead, whoever is the actual leader right now. I just need to pass the 17, and I'm good. And that would be the real lead of the race. Really fun. And look, they're still battling. They're still fighting. Like, we've been literally spending this entire run battling, just all out, side by side, spanning out across the entire track. So what I was trying to do really was run the top in 3 and 4 and the bottom in 1 and 2. So I really liked how it felt in 1 and 2, running the bottom. I did make a mistake that previous lap, so I'm just like, okay, let me go down to the bottom here. But at this point, the entire track's kind of lit up when it comes to temperature. You know, everyone's running everywhere. I'm fanning out again. I'm thinking, okay, I can see the cars that I need to pass, right? You can see the 17 up there in the top. You can see this. There's 7 cars. You can kind of see him now. He was right in front of that 16. I'm like, okay, these guys are still here. I'm still good. I should be good on fuel, right? I mean, I'm thinking, my win is right there. My win is 3 spots ahead. Like, and that's all I needed to really try to drop the hammer. I was dealing with a lot of understeer on corner entry. Really should have been trail braking a bit better, sort of easing off the throttle a bit better. And then struggling. And keep in mind, all this time, I got the 9 car right behind me. Like, look, 9 car, I'm thinking, wait a minute, where did this guy come from? 9 cars coming. 17 is slipping, sliding. Like, okay, that's P2. Now 9 car, he's also good on fuel. I didn't even think about him. I was like, I had never seen this guy before in my life. But now he's He's coming like so fast, and oh, there's a wreck. 17 gets him, takes him out, cautions out. Strategy's over. Party's over. Party's over. Strategy is out of luck. We would have easily gotten a straight, like we were guaranteed a top five if it just went green and we didn't wreck. But now everyone gets fresh tires, gets fuel up to the end, and we have to fight for it. All right, here we go. Restart. Had a really aggressive restart, trying to get this four to make a mistake, and boom. I mean, he was really struggling here. Everyone's on fresh tires. They're not really sure how it feels. Six cars spinning. That's like the third spin the six cars have. He's been having a tough time. I'm just like, okay, 20 laps. I mean, I gotta get to the front. I'm too far back. I really am aiming at least for a top five now at this point. I think it's not really realistic to expect to charge through seven cars off this restart. We get to 16 pretty easily. He tries to switch back on us, can't really make it stick. There's not the grip there. The track temperatures dropped down a bit because of the yellow. We're down to 109. It was 111 for the caution. Because of the yellow plus the change in sun, where the sun is. And at P6, cool, great. Let's get the top five. Give me my top five. Now I gotta get around the 18. Easier from the top, but I think I've got a little bit better run than him. He's not really getting the full run of the top, so I'm still gaining on him. I'm thinking this is my moment. You see, look at all these fastest laps. By the way, those green numbers, everyone just ripping their fastest lap out. Everyone, because they're all fresh tires, and the track's grippier than it's ever been. Like this is the coolest the track has been, most rubber that's been laid down. So definitely a lot of speed in it. Try to get a little side draft heading in the corner, run my groove right off the seam on the bottom. I mean, we had him clear for a second, but we also were closing in on the 7. So the 7 had backed up. So I mean, obviously not intentionally. Why would you ever intentionally back up? He was just in a position where we couldn't clear this 18 car. So I'm like driving, I'm trying to get it. I had him clear for a second, and oh, he just got the outside run. I hold on to it at 23 and 16. 23, 16 goes around, it's yellow. My car, thankfully, is not damaged really at all. But just kind of unlucky. I mean, we had him clear for half a second, and I was just already on the gas. I could not back off anymore, and it got a little bit damaged there, but not bad. I had already committed to sort of trying to clear him and clear myself, and that was just the mistake there. That means another yellow. I figured, okay, well, if I'm damaged, I'm going to the back anyway. I'm probably not going to the front. I'm just going to stay out and hope for the best. Hopefully the tire, like the arrow, isn't going to be too important. I figured I would have a little bit of damage. So we go for a restart. I mean, on this restart, ripping the top, just trying to get as much speed as possible. We got a little aero damage, but like I can't do anything about that anymore. You can kind of see it too, just down at the end of that straight where I had the momentum and suddenly I just didn't. Uh, got a little lucky here. 18 had to adjust. He thought this 10 car was gonna wreck, but now I gotta make a pass on the bottom. One car, I mean 10 car just drives in super deep to make it stick. I was honestly surprised that he didn't like wreck, that he did make that work. So now I'm just like, okay, we side draft him so he can't quite clear. He sticks to the high side. 3 wide. I didn't know he was gonna go for the middle. This time I fully am clear, so I get around him. Next car. Yellow's out. One more restart. We're P5. We're in our good spot. One more restart. Just one more restart. That's all we need. Now, restarting these cars is a challenge. I kind of skimmed over that because I've been sort of skipping to the laps. But restarting these cars is a challenge. I mean, you can't go full throttle. You gotta really ease into it. And I get caught out there. You see, there's a bit of an accordion, a mild accordion effect that had me going backwards right when everyone was going. Or not literally backwards, but relatively speaking. So I get caught out there and I'm like, okay, P6, I need to dig. There's 3 laps left, coming to 2 to go. So I'm going to just try to rip the top and see what happens. Track is grippier than it's ever been. Down to 107. I enter and there's no front grip. I'm just like, oh boy. There's no grip. It's just 4-wheel slide. Up into the wall. Lose 2 spots. Now I gotta handle 13. 13 once around me. 16 once around me. 3 wide in the turn. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I send it again. I'm like, okay, well, I hit the wall once. I'm not gonna hit it twice. So let me so I threw it in. Used some gas to actually help the road car rotate a bit. 13 bonks him. Give me hold that real quick. 8th place. I should have been like 6th or 5th, but we're holding 8th, 13. But it's not done. Oh my goodness, man. This race was so wild. It's actually just unbelievable how wild this race was. I mean, an hour long. You did start to feel the length of the race when you're under yellow, but like when you're driving this thing, it's so fun. At this point, I'm running the top. 16 has an opportunity to slide me right here, but I just had enough gas and he just slipped up just a little bit where I stay in, have the forward momentum. And once I have the forward momentum on the back stretch and have them cleared, I'm thinking, okay, as long as I don't mess up, I'm fine. Almost gets me right again, but no, can't clear it. And he lags out. Touches his lag switch a bit, maybe. But we're fine. P8. -3 ironing. Unlucky. It's because we hit the wall. But overall, really fun race. Had a lot of things that were fortunate for us, but a lot of things that weren't. Just glad to have finished it out. Really worth, even if I didn't gain any ironing, it's really worth it. Definitely would recommend this car track combo. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Only the reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because some people just struggle with driving it, so you're going to have those yellows. This series would be beautiful if it was no cautions, or if there's just more ways for people to prepare for this car, because it's a very difficult car to drive the first time. No one has that many laps on this car. It's only been out for like a week. So it's going to be a very, very big adjustment. I think the series, though, is only going to get better over time as people learn how to drive it. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm Chris Shelley. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed. Come up with more videos shortly. See you.